Hey guys, welcome back to the Second Time Lucky Mining channel. In today's quick video, we are going to have a look at the GPU mining statistics for the month of March. Wow, can you believe it? It's another month done and dusted. And this is a big one because it's quarter 2 already. And can you believe it? We are in the second quarter. Today is the 1st of April and I'm going to be looking at the GPU statistics for the month of March. Again, what do I do in these type of videos? What are we going to look at today? We are going to have a look at what is the most popular coins people are mining, what is the market share between AMD and Nvidia and maybe Intel this month, what is the popular GPUs in the Nvidia stable, what is the popular GPUs in AMD stable, and then what mining software people are using. And again, this video, I just basically track the change from month to month. Now, this is a big month. Why? Is because it's the Bitcoin halving. We've seen the prices of crypto actually stay relatively high. Yes, we had a little bit of a dump in March, probably around 20%, but relatively speaking, even the GPU mineable coins has managed to hold its own. All of those that pumped last month sort of kept at the high levels and maybe dipped a little bit. So it's been an interesting month, the month of March. But before I jump into the statistics, let's talk about some of the disclaimers. What we are going to have a look at specifically today is the HiveOS statistics. And I know HiveOS hasn't made any friends the last couple of months with their new policy around the amount of workers that you can have free, but they still provide a platform where I can get statistics and have a look at the trends and see what, at least in this case now, what are the most or the biggest miners doing in this space and what they are mining. Now, again, like all stats, this is not perfect. Why? Well, it is just HiveOS statistics, right? So there is lots of other mining operating systems out there that people might be using, like MMPOS, Simple Mining, even Windows. So the stats is relative at the end of the day, but it gives me a picture of what people are doing in this space. And that's really what I'm interested in, not necessarily the raw number, but to see the trends around there. Potentially there might be opportunity for me. I might be mining some coins that has a high yield or whatever the case may be. That's why I like looking at these stats. Now, enough of me talking. Let's jump on the computer and have a look at the stats for the month of March.
Okay, so I've got the HiveOS statistics page open, and I'll leave a link in the video description in case you wanted to go and have a look for yourself. But I'll also leave links or sections in the video in case you wanted to skip to something specific. Now, looking at the most popular coins here, you can see Zephyr is still on top for the CPU mining guys. I can also see Cubic is also on top here. Now, Cubic is an interesting one because as far as I understand, you can GPU mine and you can use your CPU for that. So it's a bit of a hybrid, or at least that's my understanding, or that's what I've been seeing people doing. So I know people are mining it with their CPU and I've seen it on GPU mining as well. Now, the other interesting thing here is Pyron. So Pyron is still at the top or very close to the top, followed by Raven. So Raven makes sense. There was a massive pump in Raven coin the last while, followed by Clore AI, then Ethereum Classic, BTC, Gram. So Gram is a new one that I'm going to start and monitor. Now, let's have a look and see who's the gainers and losers and potentially where is some hash rate or potentially more yields. Now, again, if I go to my stats page here, and I'll leave a link in the video description in case you wanted to go and have a look at it. But here you can clearly see sort of what is going on here. Now, you can see I've highlighted Lithium here, and that's what stands out to me. So Lithium last month was about 8%, and it's been trending up from 6 to 8 from the March to the end of Jan numbers. Or at least from Feb and Jan, and you can see in March it's taken a massive dip, so more than half of that popularity has dropped. Now, who's the gainers in that case? You can see here there's a little bit of Raven coin, so it's nice to see Raven coin catching a bit, but the new coins is what is most interesting here. So you can see here Pyron has got a lot of hash rates, sort of 3 times more than what it was. And then again, like I'm only starting to track Gram, but again, it's fairly at the top there. So you would assume from the previous month, I didn't track it previous month, but now you can see Gram is in there. So that's the biggest change here. The general trends of Ethereum Classic has actually slowed down this month. So it's only like 0.5% down. But generally speaking, the other big things is there's less people on Zol, there's less people on Carlson, AIPG. So again, some of these let me call it seasonal coins or some of these new coins has dropped in hash rate, but the biggest gainer by far is Pyron and the biggest loser by far is Lithium. Okay, so let's have a look at the next stats. I'm just going to jump back to HyperOS and I'm going to scroll a little bit further down and look at the market share between AMD and NVIDIA. As you can see here, 75-25. So this is now 3/4 NVIDIA and then only 1/4 AMD. And again, if I go back to my stats page, this has been trending this way for the last couple of months. Actually, since I've been capturing the data, it used to be closer to 60-40, and it's just continued down this trend. Again, makes total sense to me. I say it every single month. NVIDIA GPUs generally are more expensive, but they are just more flexible and a little bit easier compared to AMD GPUs. Now, again, I still love AMD GPUs. I think I've got a 50-50 split. I like to have both GPUs because it sort of keeps my options open from an algorithm perspective around what I can mine and what I can effectively or efficiently mine at the end of the day. Okay, so next stat is we are going to jump into the GPUs, and I'm just going to go back to HyperOS, scroll a little bit up, and first let's have a look at the NVIDIA GPU. So no surprise here, the most popular GPU is the 3070 from an efficiency point. Next up, CMP30HX, the 6 gig one, followed by 3060 Ti, followed by the 1660 Super and 3080, and then 2060 Super. So this list has been the same for a very long time. And if I go back to my stats here, there isn't really anything interesting in terms on NVIDIA movements. Now, what I did find interesting is across the board, all of them are dropping in stats. That tells me that potentially people are moving into the 40 series for the first time. That's the only reason that I can think why I'm seeing this. Now, if I jump back and have a look and see what is the first 40 series that I see, and if I scroll down, the first 40 series that I see is this one here. So the 4060 Ti 8 gig, there's 1.86. So that's quite interesting that this is on the charts. Not again that it's on the charts, but at least that it's starting to get close to, let's say, a 2060. At least in my opinion, the 40 series has been expensive from a mining perspective, so it hasn't made sense to get a 40 series card, but it's interesting to see this to slot in here. And again, looking at the stats, I can see everything from 20 to 30 series has gone down. So that tells me that there's something else that people are potentially moving to, and we can see it in the stats. Now, looking at AMD, and I'll just jump back to HyperOS here, and looking at the most popular GPUs here, the GOAT, the 580 is still on top here, followed by the 5700 XT, the 6700 XT, the 578 gig, and then the 6600 and the 6600 XT is the top of the list here. And again, on the AMD side, there hasn't really been much change. Now, if I jump back to my stats page here, the biggest change or the big thing that stood out for me, and I had to double and triple check, and I'll do it on stream here now, is the 5700 XT. Saw a massive jump in terms of popularity here. And again, this is sort of what we've been seeing as these small changes. Maybe it's a big farms that had a lot of potentially Polaris GPUs, and they moved over to RDNA 1 or the 5700 XT. And again, if I go to HyperOS here and I show you the more detail, you can clearly see the 15.55 is in the stats here. So the 5700 XT caught a massive jump here. And again, what you don't see here is a lot of, let's say, RDNA 3 GPUs. I don't see a lot. I've got my one mining, and I'll maybe do a video on showing you guys how I got it going, but you don't really see RDNA 3 here a lot on that list, unlike what we saw with the NVIDIA 40 series starting to creep up in the list here. Lastly, let's have a look at the mining software. So if I jump back to HyperOS, scroll all the way to the bottom here, and the most popular software that people are using, some custom software here, I'm assuming it's for some of these Gram and QLI and that type of stuff. So all of these speculative coins people are mining. But anyway, looking at that, XMRig, LOL Miner, Team Red Miner, ASIC miners, not people have got the ASICs, Rigel, G Miner, T-Rex, SRB, and 10 Miner. And again, if you look at sort of the trend and the stats associated to it, not that interesting this month, I have to admit. The biggest change here is LOL Miner caught a massive pit, and that looks to be at the expense of Gminer, T-Rex a little bit, and SRB Miner. So again, possibly the most popular GPU mining software here is LOL Miner, and then Team Red Miner, obviously for the AMD GPUs.
That's it for this video, guys. If you've liked the video, please like the video and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. If you didn't, please tell me in the comments what you would like me to change. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.